What's all this futile thinking about? It's just making me unhappy. It has no point whatsoever. And then a decision comes to not to think, because you realize there is another dimension in you that is deeper than thinking. So okay, I'll rather be there than up there in the mind. And how can I get there? Because the mind will have its momentum. So unless your presence power, so to speak, is already quite developed, you may find it very hard to stop the momentum once it's started. To stop the momentum of thinking, there's an enormous pull, a gravitational pull behind it. And for some, if presence power is not yet that developed, you can say, I need to stop thinking, but I can't, because it goes on and on, and I can't stop it. It's like a river. You can't get out of this raging river. It drags you along. Just try, especially when you're stuck in a train of negative thinking, or fearful thinking, or angry thinking. You don't even want to get out, because you're so identified with the stream of thinking that your sense of self is in it, and you don't want to lose that sense of self. It's a fictitious sense of self, but it's a sense of self. And so you don't want to stop your train of angry thinking. You want more angry thinking. And if possible, you're looking for more feedback from others to reinforce your angry thinking. I need another argument. And after you've walked back out of the room, after a 1 hour argument, you walk back into the room because you haven't had enough. You need to talk to that person again. Oh, one more thing I want to tell you. And even when that person is no longer there, you're still thinking, and then you need to pick up the phone and tell your friend about it. And then you repeat the whole argument you just had, and how right you are and how wrong the other person was. And then when you hang up the phone, it still goes on in your head. So you can, the enormous, at that moment to tell somebody you need to stop thinking would be futile. The person doesn't even want to stop thinking because that person is the thinking. Total identification with thought. So there needs to be a realization, some awareness needs to be there. It's totally pointless to talk to anybody about stopping thinking without having at least some access to awareness, maybe not in the moment of enormously empowered thinking, and empowered not in a good way, but the awareness needs to bear that what's going on inside me right now, and then at some point you might be able to realize what's happening to you. It's happening to you. You didn't actually do it, it just happened to you because you're being possessed by your mind. And then at some point you realize that there is a choice. You can actually, perhaps not when you're in the middle of it. At some point, a very strong mind stream subsides. You might get tired of it, and then it goes, and then finally you go, oops, oh. And then do I choose to carry on? Does it make me feel happy? No, it doesn't. I thought it did because it felt so good to be angry about that. But doesn't make you feel. The body doesn't really feel. If you asked your body, it would tell you this feels horrible. But of course, if you're not in touch with your body, you're only up here, you don't even know that. And then at some moment a choice comes in. It's just no willpower, it's just a decision. I'd rather be still than not be thinking. And once you know that, then you can take your attention into the inner energy field of the body. That's your choice. Instead of giving more attention to your thinking, you just take your attention into the inner energy field of the body, and suddenly you feel the aliveness that pervades the entire body. And so you have taken consciousness away from the mind, and put it in here, and you can't think that much anymore. You can't feel the body and be engaged in a lot of thinking. And if you really fully experience the aliveness in the inner body, the mind stops.
Hat dir dieses Video gefallen? Gib uns ein Zeichen und lasse einen Daumen nach oben da. Bist du interessiert an weiteren solchen kostenlosen Videos? Dann abonniere unbedingt unseren Kanal und drücke die Benachrichtigungsglocke, denn nur so stellst du sicher, dass du kein weiteres Video verpasst. Danke dir und bis zum nächsten Video.